The banking sector just reported a record $200 billion in quarterly profit. And here's the kicker. You paid for it by being the perfect student. You followed the rules, you got the degrees, and now you're sitting on a $1.7 trillion national student loan hangover while your bank throws a champagne gala. Why does the most educated generation in human history have the financial security of a house of cards in a hurricane? Here's a fact that should make your blood run cold. 93% of college graduates retire with less than $10,000 in savings. They didn't fail. They did everything right. They memorized the periodic table. They solved quadratic equations they'll never use. And they wore the funny hats. Yet the system still left them checking their bank balance before buying a latte at age 65. Following 1980s debt advice in 2026, the get a degree and save your pennies talk, is like bringing a butter knife to a drone fight. It's not just slow, it's a great way to get crushed by the competition. I love our parents, but listening to their financial advice today is like trying to navigate a self-driving Tesla with a paper map from 1995. It doesn't work, and you're going to end up in a ditch. Welcome back to Future Freedom 360, where wealth is a systematic science, not a wish. I'm your host, and today we're going deep into the most uncomfortable truth in America: why the education system was specifically engineered to keep you financially small. We're firing the experts and hiring the math. Don't click away because your degree didn't come with a survival guide for 2026. This video is that guide. Part 2, the Compliance Factory, Psychological Deep Dive. Let's perform a little forensic audit on your childhood. The modern school system wasn't built to produce entrepreneurs, innovators, or millionaires. It was engineered during the Industrial Revolution to produce compliant, productive employees. Think about the architecture. You sit in rows. You wait for a bell to tell you when you can eat, speak, or pee. You are graded on your ability to follow instructions and repeat facts. Schools don't grade you on your ability to generate income, manage risk, or build assets. They grade you on obedience. Why? Because a financially literate population is a dangerous population. People who understand how money actually works don't accept predatory 22% APR credit cards. They don't fall for 1% safe funds that don't even beat the price of a gallon of milk. They start businesses, they negotiate, and they refuse to stay quiet. Financial illiteracy cost Americans an average of $1,506 per person in 2025 alone. That isn't a glitch in the system, it's a feature. The system needs you to be confused. It needs you to think that saving is a strategy when inflation is eating your purchasing power like a termite infestation. You were handed a diploma, but you were never handed the keys to the vault. That gap between your A+ in history and your F in financial reality is where poverty is born. Part 3, the 3 lies of the middle class trap. School didn't just forget to teach you about money. It actively installed malware in your brain. Let's run a system uninstall on the 3 biggest lies keeping graduates broke. Lie number 1, get a good job and you'll be fine. In 2026, the average bachelor's degree holder earns about $67,000. After Uncle Sam takes his cut, and after you pay the $503 monthly student loan tax, you're left with enough to survive, but never to thrive. A job gives you income. Income is not wealth. Income is a hamster wheel. The moment you stop running, the lights go out. Wealth is what grows while you're sleeping, vacationing, or ignoring your boss's emails. The math. If your net worth isn't moving, you aren't winning. You're just busy. Line number 2. Your home is your greatest investment. This is the holy grail of middle-class delusions, calling a primary residence an investment is like calling a high-maintenance pet a business partner. It takes money out of your pocket every month for taxes, insurance, and that fun surprise when the water heater explodes on a Sunday night. The reality. A real investment pays you. If it doesn't cash flow, it's just a very expensive, very stationary hobby. Line number 3. Diversify into safe, balanced funds. This is the most polite way the industry steals your future. They tell you to put your money into mutual funds or balanced portfolios with 1 to 2% returns after fees. In 2026, with the way the money printer is screaming, 2% isn't safe. It's a slow-motion robbery. Following this advice is like trying to run a marathon using crutches because you're afraid of tripping. You're safe, sure, but you're never going to win the race. Part 4. The Bitcoin exit, the only real escape. Now, let's talk about the predators of Wall Street and why they aren't following the advice they give you. While they tell you to stay diversified in paper assets and dying currencies, the smartest players are moving toward the only life raft left in the 2026 economy: Bitcoin. Stop looking at altcoins. Stop looking at the next big meme coin or those complicated index funds that charge you fees to lose money. Most graduates are stuck in consumer mode, but the Bitcoin maximalist is in sovereign mode. Case study: the 5-year reality check. Let's look at a real-world scenario from 2021 to 2026. Person A took $5,000 and did the responsible thing. They bought gold or put it in a high-interest savings account. Today in 2026, that $5,000 has barely kept up with the cost of eggs and gas. They are effectively at zero. Person B ignored the noise. They ignored the safe funds and the diversification traps. They put that $5,000 into Bitcoin and moved it to cold storage. While Person A is still arguing about tax brackets, Person B has achieved financial escape. Velocity. They didn't work harder. They just chose a better engine. Bitcoin is the only asset in 2026 that isn't tied to a central bank's bad decisions. It's the only asset that can't be diluted by a politician looking for votes. If you want to stop being a product of the education system, you have to start owning the hardest money ever created. Part 5. The 2026 Wealth Coach Fraud Radar. Visual pattern interrupt. Red warning screen. Because you're starting to wake up, you are now a high-value target for a different kind of predator: the wealth guru. In 2026, the internet is infested with coaches who rent private jets for a weekend to film a course telling you how to be financially free for the low price of $10,000. These guys make their money from selling hope, not from actual investing. If their secret requires you to recruit your friends into a mastermind, you aren't in a class, you're in a pyramid. Red flags to memorize. Extreme lifestyle over verified logic. If they show you a gold watch before they show you a verified on-chain Bitcoin address, run. The debt for knowledge trap. If they tell you to put their $5,000 course on a credit card to invest in yourself, they are literally stealing your seed capital. The altcoin pivot. Any guru telling you to buy the next Bitcoin is just trying to dump their bags on you. There is Bitcoin, and then there is everything else. Period. Part 6. The Wealth Defense Strategy. Action steps. Wealth is 80% psychology and 20% mechanics. You can have the best plan in the world, but if your internal money OS is still set to employee mode, you will find a way to stay broke. Here is how you rewrite the script starting today. Step 1. The weekly audit. Every Sunday, spend 20 minutes staring at your net worth. Not your salary, your net worth. If your assets, Bitcoin, cash, equity, minus your liabilities, loans, debt, isn't growing, you are just a well-paid hamster on a wheel. Face the numbers so you can fix them. Step 2. The media swap. The average American spends 4.5 hours a day on mindless entertainment. Redirect just 30 minutes of that to studying macroeconomics and Bitcoin. By this time next year, you will have a PhD in freedom, while your former classmates still think the 60-40 portfolio is a good idea. Step 3. Pay yourself in Bitcoin. Automate your savings. The second your paycheck hits, a portion should go straight into Bitcoin, and then, this is critical, into cold storage. Don't leave it on the exchange. Own your keys. Own your future. If you wait until the end of the month to see what's left to invest, the answer will always be 0. Part 7. Conclusion. The revolution starts with you. The 93% of graduates who retire poor didn't fail because they were lazy. They failed because they played a game where the rules were rigged against them from the first day of kindergarten. But you're different. You're still here. You've listened to the math. You've seen the fraud. Now it's time to choose. You can go back to the safe world of 2% returns and $500 student loan payments, or you can join the revolution. If this video felt like a splash of cold water to the face, good. That's the feeling of waking up. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, because at Future Freedom 360, we don't just give you news. We give you the armor to survive the 2026 economy. Comment challenge. I want to hear your unfiltered thoughts. Do you think the school system is just incompetent? Or is it a deliberate design to keep people in debt? Drop your theory below. I read every single comment, and I want to see the debate. And if you're ready for the next level, watch our video on why your paycheck is making you poorer. The link is on your screen. Take the keys. Take the power. See you in the next one.